Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Hello, I'm Slidewhistle.
'Tis I, Immunization.
And it is I, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde, Punching Bag.
Bam, 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 bam. That's you being punched.
But not this week. Well, I did more punching than getting punched, although that happened a lot too.
Yeah, the fucking mall is a hellhole right now. And it's funny, the Horde are actually trying to fight back against Overwhelming Odds Week, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't know. It's weird that, like, right in front of Venari's cave is like, this is the Alliance Zone. You're going nowhere. And if you go down the hill even a little bit, all of a sudden it's like, welcome to Tauren Paladin Heaven, baby. Somehow we managed to all sneak out, and we're gonna beat you up.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a known fact that if there is against overwhelming odds, the Alliance is outnumbered, and it's just the unwritten pact that we all, as soon as we can on Tuesday, head to Venari's cave and we slay as many Horde as possible. And it's worked for us in the past. It's worked for me this week, baby.
Although I was very proud. I got my 20 just at the Maldraxxus, like, blue daily. I was like, I didn't even have to go to Venari's cave this week. I'm a lucky luck boy. And the Horde that were there were, like, hardly fighting back because I think they were confused. Like, I would throw a fireball at them and they were like, do you want to go to the cave real quick? Do you want to go to the maw and hash this out? And I was like, no, let's fight here. And they were like, Jacuse.
This is supposed to be a safe zone for us this week.
Literally all of the groups that I joined, I mean, I guess I only joined one group, but all the ones that I saw was like 8 of them. And they were like, mall PvP farming. Like, let's go. There was not one group anywhere else. That's somebody running their dishwasher? I think it's the neighbors. Can you hear that, Aaron?
I could not, but I remember a past episode you said that you exist in the nexus point of all dishwashing.
It's so weird.
I think it was their garbage disposal, actually, so this is done now, I think. But
Let's
whatever.
do the fork in the garbage disposal.
Hey.
Ding, 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 ding.
That
ding,
video
ding, ding,
taught a young me what homosexual gentlemen were. I was at the cusp of being like, oh, they like gentlemen. And here they are. And I was like, wow.
Thanks, Internet. You the best.
That and Gay Pimp's soccer practice.
Oh, dude, Gay Pimp soccer practice. If you haven't seen Gay Pimp's soccer practice, you are missing out on some high quality 138p footage. 'Cause that shit is blurry.
It looks like a slideshow, but it's an important part in young gay internet history.
I mean, also just gay TV history, too. I remember flipping through the channels and, like, I don't know why, but for some reason we actually had logo for a brief period of time, and,
That's
always...
what made you gay.
No, it was actually just the water bottles we had,
that Dasani really changed you.
Thanks, Dasani. But wait, back to the vault. So I was like, you know what? I already killed enough Horde yesterday. I'm going to just let them live for today. I'm going to go pick up my 20 souls that I missed the other day. And so I got them. And I got jumped by a shaman and a boomkin. And I'm like, guys, I'm in Guardian Druid right now. You both aren't going to kill me before the cavalry arrives. Like, it's going to be a long fight.
It's like, you won't kill them either, but, like, you could probably kite them infinitely before they're able to kill you.
And yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, we fought for literally 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, someone's got to show up, right? Like, it's been 5 minutes. And my seed finally pops, and I spit on the shaman, and literally, like, 3 priests, a paladin, and a rogue come over the fucking horizon, and they just kill them. And I was like, I'm still alive. I didn't get unseated. So then I just teabagged them, and then I put my flag in them. And I was like, what are you thinking? I wasn't even going to hit you.
SMH.
Smish.
Smish.
Shmish.
Hit us with that email, bitch.
Well, we got ourselves an email from a listener, and this one comes to us from Mike. It's titled "Question for the Pod." He actually sent it to us at, like, perfect timing, like a few hours before we're recording. Like, normally we get these emails, like, specifically, like, 5 minutes after we finish recording, and then has to wait for the next week. But he says, "What's up, DNR Pod crew? Great job on the shows. Really keeps dull days at work entertaining. Thumbs up emoji. Just a quick question. Do you guys think we fight a corrupted version of the Archon in the next raid? Does she come back evil like when Arthas turned Sylvanas? Great job once again. Keep the episodes coming and keep trolling the Horde. 12 out of 10 podcast, Mike.
Ooh,
Thanks,
Mike. I'm fucking out here trolling the Horde just for my man Mike. I'm going to make a for Mike macro that I'll just spam in chat now. I'll do it.
But as far as Mike's question, it is certainly food for thought. I'm not against seeing that be a mechanic, but what I would imagine is the jailer does not use her, but we put her in a little healing grape, sort of like we did Gelbin for years. And then I could see her coming back in like 9.3, but I think she's just kind of dead for right now.
So it's interesting that we got this question because I feel like maybe we said it on the pod before, or maybe just the three of us were chatting about this in the past. But at some point during like the beginning of the Shadowlands like launch, I think somebody discovered somehow that the Archon actually has like voice lines programmed for when she dies, which kind of implies that you could fight her at some point. So I don't know if that really means anything. I don't really know, but
They also said she had a unique death animation, and I watched an animation, and I'm pretty sure I saw a boss do that before. But the fact that she has one even to begin with is still maybe, honestly, like, she might just be. And she was stabbed with Kingsmorn. Isn't that what turned Anduin into bad Anduin? To Banduin?
Do we know what turned him into Banduin? Banduin of Brothers?
We don't, no. No, we do not know how Banduin of Brothers 2 became a thing, but...
I mean, yeah, because like she pointed the blade at him a lot, and the blade seemed like it was going to be the point of, like, you're going to turn because this blade...
Do you think she was, like, threatening him with the blade, and was like, oh, you nicked me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And then he started turning into Banduin. And I was like, well, this works out.
You know, I picture it more of like, it's actually not for stabbing. She like waved it like a magic wand and she's like, bippity boppity Banduin.
This is not at all what Mike asked, but now I'm imagining that that Banduin is like the doodle bob to Anduin, and he just was like, Banduin. That's all he can say.
You must leave, Banduin. We cannot exist together. Banduin.
Me-noy.
Me hoy me noy. Actually, the hilt of the sword is actually an eraser, and that's the secret to, you know, saving Anduin.
That's such a clutch episode of SpongeBob. God, Doodle Bob fucking rules.
But I guess to circle back to this question, I think that it's possible. It also could just be a dungeon, maybe, or some kind of encounter. Or I also could see it be, as Aaron said, that she's just kind of like out of commission, kind of how like the Arbiter is for a while.
Or, you know what? Maybe we do fight her, but maybe she's not corrupted. There is an outside option that maybe the Archon's just a bitch. She's just like, I'm bored, champion. Fucking fight me.
Your king stabbed me, so you all can get the fuck out of Bastion now. Like, get out.
No more mortals in Bastion. Where were you guys to defend me when this started happening? I literally let in like thousands and thousands of you, but no one came to protect me.
To be fair, as someone who has done a little bit of the Kyrian experience, they probably gave a way marker on like, oh, like defend me, but that is a double layered area. So Booty ATW went down below and she was by the conduit and she was like, what are we doing? And then she just heard the Archon get stabbed. And she was like, shit.
What do? I can't get up there.
I have to run back up.
She's fucking climbing the fucking balconies. I love that. Wait, so do we hit Mike's points? I feel like we missed something.
So he says, does she come back evil like when Arthas turned Sylvanas?
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, she probably won't, right? I mean, or she might. Who's the Archon? There could be a new Archon. They could make Clea the new Archon, right? Isn't that a thing they can probably do?
I hope they don't make Polemark the new Archon. He stinks. I saw him the other day and he was like, well met, friend. And I'm like, I'm not your friend. My Ember Court may say we're buddies, but that is not true.
Poor Polemarch.
But I am really curious to see what they do with her. I think though she's just going to be like in like almost dead mode without any powers or something. I don't really know. I feel like she's basically going to be out of commission, but maybe not evil. Maybe we fight like a vision of her or like an evil version of her while she's still there.
Oh, you know what's probably gonna happen? You know how sometimes you have to go to the fucking, I'm gonna call it the Shaw world, even though it's not really the Shaw world, where it's like all gray and tinty.
She's so messed up. It's like you need to go beat up her insecurities.
She has a scary ghost coming out of her wounds. We have to fight it in a dungeon. It's gonna be called Image of the Archon or something. I could see that shit happening in a dungeon, easy peasy. Because I feel like whenever they add, there's always that one dungeon they add that I'm always just like, I don't know. Like Mechagon, I liked it a lot. But remember the end of Legion? What the fuck? Seat of the Triumphant?
Oh, well, yeah, there was
that
two.
dungeon.
Seat of the Triumvirate and like Cathedral of Night. I ran Cathedral of Night maybe like twice ever.
Well, it's really hard for you to have to like go in there and, you know, grind out the dungeon, and like the end of it, you figure out that you're facing your mom.
That's very true.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why I had a personal stake in not doing Seat of the Triumvirate, because she would whisper me mid-battle and was like, Bear, have you applied? Have you sent me your W-2s yet? And I was like, I'm getting on it. They messed up my address.
I'm gonna send her mine too.
She'd love it. She's a big nerd and she loves accounting. She was in an accounting club in college. She tells me about it. She's like, you know, Bear, I was in a frat when I was young. And I was like, what? She was like, an accounting fraternity. We did math extracurricularly.
Is that a direct quote? Does she actually brag about this? Does she brag about that
she
exactly
did.
like how
She
you said it?
She did, because she was like, you
What
and
a
your
dork.
friends used to go drinking. I would hang out with my friends, but we'd be accounting. And I was like, Mom, I think we lived in two different universes during school.
Let's just say, Bear, we were crunching the numbers, if you know what I mean.
She's just typing furiously on a calculator for like 6 hours straight.
Probably.
Thanks, Mike. Love ya. Mwah.
Yeah, I love you, Mike.
Mwah.
Man, if only you could see Illyria right now. She is living her life in Immune's lap. Her eyes are so closed that she's giving so much love to this keyboard she's staring at. It's too much.
Our hoe is over here being lame. We got her a fancy velour bed. We cleared out her spot so she doesn't have to lay on a sweatshirt. And what is she doing? She's over here standing next to the door. Like, girl, get over here and take a nap. Go be cute for content.
I thought you were going to say she was laying on the sweatshirt still, because I feel like that's what cats always do.
I wouldn't put it past her. That sweatshirt has been put up, but she can just cling to it and just sleep vertically.
Speaking of sweatshirts, I got a time warp.
Oh, shit, I don't know my sweatshirt.
Shit. Isa Cloud Singer, she's got a sweatshirt on, I think. She's got a Bape hoodie.
Artists that have sang a song with sweatshirt in the title. Go.
Earl Sweatshirt.
There's who's to sing sweatshirt weather? Is it? I don't know.
Shit.
The correct answer was Jacob Sartorius. You lost.
Oh.
That's the weed kid on TikTok. The real time warp. Okay, so they have 40 seconds to answer as many correct answers for this one. This one's a little different, because this is one where I do not know all the answers, because I do not know how to find a comprehensive list of all of these characters. But I do have 3 on my screen, so that should be hopefully more than enough to get us through this.
We'll see.
Okay, this one is a little different again. If you can either give me the name of the boss or where they reside, like the dungeon/raid. Both of those will qualify if you can be descriptive. Obviously, we're shit at names, right? But if you are descriptive enough, I'll give you a point. I need you guys to name for me the bosses who are what we call nipplers. The above the chest up torso bosses that you put on platforms. On your mark, get set, go.
King Mechagon.
Is the one named
Freya,
Croesus? It's in
Croxus. He's the guy who.
There's the spinny laser boss. I don't know what its name is.
He's in Burning Throne, and he makes the robots. He shoots green fire, and you have to run around in a circle. The guy in
There's the one after
Ulduar,
Mechagon in Dazzle.
whose name starts with a K, and when you kill him, his head and arms become a
it's
bridge.
Just a big water thing. I don't know if that's nipples, but
His name is like Kronos, I think.
Time. Okay, so I don't think you got any immune. I think you or Aaron was talking during it, so I missed it. Aaron, I know for sure got at least 3. Aaron said King Mechagon first. You were close to Kromog's name in the Blackrock Foundry, though you called it the Burning. But the rules did dictate. I know who you implied by this. You had a third one that I don't remember who it was.
Freya is technically a nippler.
Oh, you had who's Freya? Freya, like
Not
the
Freya,
Titan lady?
shit. Yeah, you fight.
Do you mean Helia?
Fuck.
But you did say you had another one that was correct. Oh, the boss from Ice Crown, the big statue man. Okay, but there was also Croesus from Argus. He's the first guy we faced, like the one who killed Tyrion or whatever. And then there's the Garathi Worldbreaker, who from Antorus, who's a half nippler, right? Isn't he like zoom across the stage half the point, and yet him and his like robot pecs?
You only ever fight the top of his body, so I would call him a full nippler.
Full nip.
the one I was trying to name was the one, I believe it's in Tomb of Sargeras. I believe the one when you're down on the dock and it's like a DPS check as it gets destroyed.
Yeah, that's the guy who squished.
Croesus.
Yeah, the guy who squished Tyrion. And actually, the one
okay.
in Hellfire Citadel was not the one I was thinking of, so you can take that point away from me if you want. I was thinking of the guy who, in Antorus, you go across the bridge, and then you fight this guy. He has like a big circle on his head, and he makes 3 robots and has balls that go around.
Yeah, there's 2 nipplers in there. It's Immune's favorite fight. The one with the beams that would kill you for the first 85 pulls.
The
and
one
then finally
Immune is very famously not able to dodge, even though I don't think any of us were good at it. I don't know why he was lumped with this.
No, he did pretty bad on that one.
I got it at the end, but like I feel like after like the 85th time of getting hit with the beam, I never got hit with it ever again. But like that's probably 80 more times than I should have ever been hit by the beam, and I feel like maybe I'd be better now.
I was gonna say that we've killed that boss 86 times, and on the 85th time, you finally figured it out. man, that's crazy. You know, I wish there was a way. We should make a new Wowhead article that just has all of the nipplers comprehended, because you know that we're missing like a fuck ton at this point, right? We have to be.
Of course, and it'd be easy enough to do. I feel like you could just go through the model list, and surely they don't show the legs on these guys.
That's true. We could make this list, boys.
I kind of actually want to, because I was getting mad that I couldn't find the information on the torso up bosses. And I want to see, there's got to be hot deviant art of their feats, right? Oh my god, are there three nippler bosses in Hellfire Citadel? Oh, sorry, no, I'm mixing them together. Never mind. I was thinking of the big fat purple guy.
Yeah, that guy actually is in Hellfire Citadel.
And he's got the nips to be the king nippler. What's his name? He's he's like the most famous Death Knight. I'll come back to that later.
Is that really who that is? He turns into a big mouth man?
Yeah, the guy in Burning Crusade, he's in Butt Temple.
He's like, I'm the original Death Knight. I'm an orc mind in a human body. Yuck.
Yeah, this is like, it's like alternate reality him.
Is Gorfiend there technically a nippler too?
That's who it is. Terran Gorfiend. That's his name.
Is Archimond a half nippler? In Mythic, he becomes a nippler.
He evolves. He digivolves into a nippler, but then his feet grow back after we kill him. Is he the only nippler? No, I was going to say, is he the only nippler we see the feet of? But you know that those little tootsies from Gorfiend, when he dies and he turns upside down and his little tootsies pop up above the water. What a choice that was. I can't believe we just made like 7 minutes of nippler content. Like, there's so many things to talk about, and that's what we chose to die on.
There's more to come, DN Army.
All right, so take your drink or your shot, whatever you're doing over there.
Yeah, let me go for a shot.
Also, I just realized fucking Kill Jaden, Archimond's brother.
Yeah,
he's a nippler too.
Is Kill Jaden the original nippler? I mean, obviously, I didn't play vanilla, but
early.
like,
yeah, He was in the second raid of BC?
Yeah, I don't remember where the Sunwell was, but I don't think it was first, right? It couldn't have been first.
Okay, so this is an important question that I need both of your contributions. Ragnaros, is he a
Yes,
nippler?
yes, 100% a nippler. He has a feet reveal, and it was a big deal that he has feet. Big nippler.
Big sausage nippler.
His feet were so weird. I mean, I was being shocked when I saw him. He's a double nippler, right? He's a 2-time nippler.
Yeah,
he was in Classic. Wait, was he nippler in Classic?
In Classic, he was only a nippler. When you kill him, he goes, no, when he goes back into the lava. It was only in Cataclysm that he's like, I'm gonna get up.
Well, anyways, sorry to interrupt this. I'm back with my shot now, so.
He's done with the fucking nippler talk, and I bet
Whew.
I bet the fans are too. That's fine. That's okay. Let's talk about how raid's been going. Let's talk about how we doing in raid. Not good.
Well, you know what? It's instead of going forward to do new bosses, we did a reset last night, and it was slippery like a greased hog, but we did make it back to where we left off last week.
Yeah, I don't know why we necessarily did this, because I feel like most of us were okay on the gear. Although Aaron did end up getting like 2 or 3 pieces last night.
I did.
So that was,
and
was good for
only
you.
one of them was actually useful, but the other 2 were for the drip.
Well, Aaron did vote for reset in the official poll.
I did because I wanted the hat for the drip.
Whenever I get gear, I'm like, bitches, this is T-Mog that I never get to finish the set. So I got some pants, and I saw some licky lips thinking about getting them pants, and I said, these are my pants, my transmog. You can't have them.
My pants.
But yeah, so last raid night on last Wednesday, we wiped on Sludge Fist for literally the entire night. And part of it was our comp is very melee based with the guild. And for the first time since we began, we lacked a warrior. And apparently we are really dependent on the shout buff, both shout buffs, because without that extra attack power, we just were not able to kill it. The very last pull, when we changed the strategy, we were so close. We had like a 3% wipe with the group.
No, it was a 0% wipe. We were literally under 1%.
Ugh. And so yeah, obviously when you have a raid night that's just wiping on a boss that you've already cleared several times before. I guess several being honestly just 2 with a guild, right? Is this 2? How many heads do you have, Aaron?
I only have the 1.
You only have 1? Oh, I think you might have also missed a Sludge Fist night.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I looked up at the corner of my room for something, and I thought you were talking about my human head.
Your actual,
yeah,
thought
like,
I meant your actual, the head on your shoulders, the one that holds your brain case.
I was looking up at a cool sword that's on my wall. He must be in the middle of a joke.
You answered it so earnestly, like, oh, just the one.
No,
so not even a
I
dick
have
joke.
two
Yeah, I was
of
gonna
4
say.
Sludge Fist heroic heads.
You thought it was a joke, but you didn't even go for the dick joke. Jeez.
Yeah, so we have 3 Sludge Fist heads because we got one with Dr. Jobs. I mean, I guess I see why people voted against starting at Sludge Fist, because it feels pretty bad when that's your night, right? But I felt it was obvious that we didn't have the person we needed to do it with. You know, we didn't have Bryn, our warrior, and now she's here, and we have a better strat. So let's just do it. Let's do it from Sludge Fist.
But it also ended up being that our 4th healer never showed up. He was feeling sick, so I feel like it would have been really hard. And that's honestly why we struggled our way up to Sludge Fist last night through all of these bosses that we should easily clear, is because we were 3 healing it. A little hard.
Yeah, I'm assuming he was actually sick, and he did give a warning. Lynn just missed it before raid on Discord.
Well, I think today we're gonna beat that silly old Stonehead, and then everyone's gonna feel so happy that they won't mind wiping to Council for the rest of the night. Or maybe we beat Council, and then someone will be like, we're gonna take it all the way, and then we won't for the next month.
Yeah, I hopefully we just kill Sludge Fist, and then we just kill Stone Legion, and then we can just start the Nathrus progression. But honestly, so we've been doing the Nathrius polls with also jobs, and this is going to be a long haul for everybody involved on this. I keep hearing from other people on the internet, on podcasts, that like it's going to be like a lot of fucking pulls. People are saying like minimum of like 50 pulls, 60 pulls, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's so many pulls. And like there's so many phases to memorize and so many phases to do that I feel like the guild's going to take a really long time to get it done on group 1's ends.
I mean, and at this point, group 2 has also taken probably like 2 or 3 full nights of trying to get progress on Denathrius as well, right?
Mm-hmm. They were at 53% at the end of last night, and I was like, wow, I definitely thought they would have had a handle on this at this point, because they're the super group.
Yeah, there's just a lot to learn, but a lot of it also requires, unfortunately, most of your people being alive. So if you lose somebody early on, that's a real detriment to the progression, because Denathrius is fucking hard. So it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be the classic Phoenix Fusion feel, I feel like. Is that going to be quite Kill Jaden levels of like, what, 120 plus pulls on this motherfucker?
That was so rough.
And what's going to happen is, because Denathrius is going to require, I think, a lot more pulls than people are expecting, once they kill him, they're going to be gone for the raid tier, for sure.
More than just the raid tier, they might be gone for the expansion.
Yeah,
It's
feel
possible.
like there's some people where like they're pushing it to the limit to get this done, and then the amount of time they have after it's done, it's like, do I continue? Which is neither here nor there. I personally would love to be one big group again, but I don't want people to be disillusioned with the game to do so.
People are just like, you know, it's late in the raid tier. People are just kind of chilling, relaxing, all cool. Shooting some b-ball up at the school?
Outside of the school.
Fuck.
One time my sister said outside of the pool, and I said sister's name. They didn't have swim trunks on. There was no water in the scene. Why would they be at the pool? And she was like, it was summer. That's why they're at the pool. And I was like, damn, I know you're wrong, but that's good logic.
It was summer.
Speaking of summertime fun, let's hear what Growliina has to say on March 3rd in a place with no sunshine.
Where's the sunshine going?
It's only in Bastion. Everywhere else is eternal night.
Well, hello there, my friends. I'm joined here by my new friend, Taco Moko, as we discuss the most important question that's been on our minds. Would the jailer look better with some hair? What do you think, Taco?
Well, I can't say he'd look scarier.
You don't think that a long mane would improve his fear factor?
All of Warcraft's greatest villains have been bald. It would just feel goofy for the jailer to suddenly show up with some long locks, LOL.
What if it was, like, a rat tail? Those things are pretty spooky.
I have to give you that one. Rat tails are downright horrifying. I could see him with one of those.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. 9.2, we're gonna be seeing a different, greasier, more hirsute end boss. Until that fateful day, this has been Growl on the Prowl.
Wow, thanks, Growl. Let's hope you never change. And speaking of never changing, Blizzard's let me down yet again.
Bum, bum, bum.
What did they do this time?
Was it the fact that they hired a Bush era anti-terrorism person for Activision Blizzard? Have you seen that?
Yep. Yeah, does this game defy the Geneva Convention? One of my favorite Twitter accounts was like, surely World of Warcraft will, now that they have a Bush-era counterterrorism specialist in their staff.
I obviously just saw the headlines. I didn't read into it, but what's this man doing now that he's on? Like, what do we need him for? Is it for fighting the Chinese bots? Is that what we're doing with Bush-era anti-terrorisms now?
Mm-hmm. There's so many druids running around Ardenweld, they said, we need to get rid of these. Surely not all of you guys are real.
I'm always afraid when I'm fishing or picking flowers that someone's going to report me for doing it in travel form. Because that's what I do to other druids.
I mean, I feel like all the bots have like another person riding them and then like another person following them as well.
That's fair. Okay, but wait, what was your actual point, Aaron? Surely it wasn't counterterrorism Bush-era man joining Activision Blizzard.
No, but it's almost as dire. The World of Warcraft website that shows the races used to have illustrations of them, and now they have 3D models.
No, the ultimate overthrow of boomers.
The thing is, I actually really like some of this old artwork they had. I mean, I understand what they're going for. It's like more accurate as what you'll see and play in the game. And the models are better looking now, I guess. But like, I don't know. I kind of like these pictures that they had before.
Yeah, I'm not like upset because it's whatever, they can do whatever they want. But I do prefer the art over the models.
Yeah, I think I agree. Okay, it depends, right? So like if you compare the gnomes are an immediate like, I don't know about this 3D model of the gnome holding the cog up.
Also, what is he doing that he's able to just hold up a single cog and be like super proud of it?
Nothing. They just put that into his hand because he cannot do that, I'm pretty sure.
You guys have never done /cog?
Fuck.
I mean,
I guess I haven't. No.
It could be out there. If anything, doing that Spriggan quest 4 times has taught me there's like 17 million things that are coded in that it's like /bleed. You bleed. And I was like, has this always been here?
Has this always existed? But like, and so like the undead, I really, really like the undead change. I feel like the undead zombies is this lady with her boobs out, which is a straight love and low dagger. But this new one, she's like a warlock doing a cast animation. But I think you're right though. I think the art is just overall better as like a whole piece. You know what I mean?
And then you look at the orc, and I feel like, is this the same picture? Like, it looks really close.
I also have a gripe looking at them. It seems like they used heritage armor when they could, right? Dwarf, gnome, worgen. That's all we have for the regular races? Wow. And then what? At the bottom you have goblin, blood elf, orc, right? Okay.
And Tauren.
Okay, but that's not the Tauren armor. That's just like a druid set, I'm pretty sure.
Do normal Tauren have heritage armor yet?
Yeah, and they have like a totem on their back, and they have like a little feathery headpiece. And he's not wearing either of those things. And I don't think I think what he's wearing, I'm pretty sure it's a druid set. Why? Is it because it's unbalanced? So there's not as many on the alliance side for heritage armor? Also, why does the panda double up the same armor? That looks bad.
Yeah. Okay, so there are, amongst the art looking better, we got our own blue-based Pandaren in the old art, and now we have to share the stinky red panda man.
Yeah, I guess for reference for the audio listeners, which is everybody, because we're not a Twitch stream. What are we? There's the pandas are both wearing like red cloth set. Is this cloth? Immune, do you know?
Yeah, it's a cloth set that you get in Pandaria, but in general, I feel like this is kind of offensive on multiple levels here, because they choose a male panda that's wearing red to represent both the Alliance and the Horde, which inherently just makes me think of fucking G Firepaw.
Oh, it is G Firepaw-esque, isn't it? Why did they choose the red Darkshore color for the Night Elves? They have a purple set, and their purple set would fit the Night Elf aesthetic more so than a fucking red set.
Okay, I have an issue to raise with the old art, though. So this is a point for new CG models. The new CG model is a Worgen male snarling, and he has his heritage armor on. The old art is like a Silver Pine Forest enemy NPC Worgen. Like, what? We had that for 11 years, that was the representation of our people? Some level 13 mob?
Yeah, that's 100% an enemy. That is in no way, shape, or form a Worgen player. Look at this guy.
Absolutely not. Like, this is more close to like the one Mage Tower Guardian Druid appearance.
I wish I had that. But then I also love how right across from the Worgen is this menacing, horrible-looking goblin up to no good, just chilling on a beach in the Bahamas. Like, look at his background compared to him. It's so stupid. So they both got hosed, so it's okay, I guess.
And then the old art for the Blood Elf was literally just like a glamour shot.
Like, it's fine. I also, okay, so I didn't know this website even existed until like there was an article published about it, and I was like, I guess it's a big deal, right? I think.
I knew it existed. I actually have been on this page before. I don't remember exactly why or when, but I have. Maybe it was like literally back at the beginning when I was trying to figure out what race I wanted to play. That's probably the most common reason people are on this page.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
gotta be it, right?
some people do. I mean, like, they do their homework beforehand. So that makes sense that this page exists. They're not just like, oh, I'm going to be the wolf person because I'll get furry money.
Well, no. If you want furry money, then you have to go to the Allied Races page and look at the Volpera.
They are very
But if you click on
popular.
these pictures, it also does tell you about that is one of your racial abilities, that you can just head to the inn and, you know, get some extra gold and flow income.
You know, just hotbind Morose's special polish. Just get 750 until a man on a large yak covers you up and calls you disgusting.
Everybody, please turn your attention to the Allied Races page. I need you to look at the mechanomes, and I need to... Why did they choose the butthole eyes for the mechanome? They could have picked any single headpiece there, and they chose the butthole chocolate starfish eyeballs. Look at them. That's a butthole.
You know, I'm not denying this. And, you know, I feel like it's what they deserve, though.
Damn.
Dang. Sorry, gang. I just got there. Yeah, that's butthole eyes. That's not good. It's not setting a good example for them.
Oh, you know what? While we're here, there has been a significant amount of insane people giving backlash to Blizzard over their comments about them not releasing new customizations in Shadowlands. People are literally like sacrificing babies and storming the Blizzard Capitol because they said they're not going to be releasing any more customization effects for allied races or races characters. And people are losing their minds.
You know, and they didn't even specifically say until when. Like, they just said that, I think they just implied that, like, it's in 9.1, there's not going to be more customizations. And they never really promised us more in 9.1 either.
I'm pretty sure they said in Shadowlands. In Shadowlands, there will be no more customizations. Because I remember very distinctly, we talked about it on the BlizzCon episode. The man said, I feel like we've done quite enough. We added a lot of options for everybody. But people who play Nightborn, which that's what you fucking get, are like, we look hideous, we look bad, which, I mean, they do look pretty bad, honestly, they really do. But
Do they
like,
mean like the ears of the character?
everything about them? They do not look like the Nightborn that we've rescued in Legion. They're like basically like just like bastardized night elves, which I do agree they look pretty fucking bad. They're probably the worst looking race. But literally, they I don't know how you can expect them to create crazy customizable effects for every single race at once. Obviously, they went from the top down and they just chose the most popular races, and then they worked their way down.
And they're also choosing the older ones that haven't had updates in a long time. So I don't know. I feel like people are just mad because they're always mad.
But like we got petitions being passed around. We got like internet, Twitter outrage, things trending. We want customizable things, and it's like, baby girl, chill out. It's coming later, way later.
Now, I don't like them and don't have them, so I didn't know. The human customization, where it's the, I'm going to put heavy air quotes here, more ethnic hairstyles and different racial makeups, they did that, right?
Yeah, they did. There's a
Okay, because that's
really...
the most important one to me, is like to have humans that look like you, the player. we can wait a little bit on like, well, I want my gnome to have 3 beards.
Right. Dwarfs, humans, night elves. From an alliance standpoint, they got the most out of everybody else. So we got wild hammer tattoos for dwarfs. We got crazy things for night elves. Humans can finally be any skin color. For the horde, it was the orcs that got their big thing. The undead can cover their bones up. And I don't really know who the third benefactor was.
The Tauren have tribal paint, I think, that they can put on. Oh, also blood elves can be like every color ever now.
Yeah. And you know what the problem is, I think? The problem is, I think some allied races got more than others. Void elves could basically become high elves.
Yeah, I mean, and then as we know, like I've complained about the Draenei and Lightforge Draenei customizations, but that's whatever. I don't really care that much. My character already looked how I wanted her to, well, now him to look.
Yeah, Draenei got nothing. Also, the fact that Immunization still lives is crazy to me. You must like how it feels.
It took a little while to get used to. The way that the character moves feels a lot different. It feels kind of like the whole Tauren, I'm moving really slow thing because I'm like big buff Tauren. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm still just in the test run period of Immunization. So we'll see how that goes. I'm using the same Mog, though, that I would as if I were just normal Immunization.
That's fun. But I'm going to say, I wish as a Night Elf Druid I could do that. But when I change races, I have so many features that I need to like take a picture of like what I have. Because once you change genders, it doesn't save your preset. Mm-hmm. It basically randomizes it. So then you can't go back to what you looked like immediately.
And you know what? I did not know that because when you're still at the barber shop and you switch back and forth, all your old customizations are still there. But then after you finalize it and go back, it's no longer there for like the other gender. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm still Immunization. I don't want to have to deal with that yet.
I did a like 2-hour test run as Growliina, but I knew that was a thing. So I have a sticky note here that's like 12, 6, dark red, ponytail to be like, I can't lose the canonical look.
I did the same thing. And then I was like, I'm throwing this away. I can't commit to this. It's too much work. I have good news for maybe our raid team.
Ooh, spill.
This is honestly probably bullshit data because it's media market research data, which is automatically filled with problems like bots and other shit. But Wowhead published a article, I'm going to put quotes on article, about Super Data Report saying that Shadowlands numbers are stabilizing as expansion honeymoon phase ends. Basically, they check earnings across PC titles and like they rank them and whatever. They're saying that basically World of Warcraft grew PC earnings by 31% over the last year, which is probably honestly mostly Classic and Shadowlands in COVID times. Like, come on. But player numbers have now fallen back to normal levels, indicating that Shadowlands' honeymoon phase appears to be over. Basically, they moved down the chart to where they were before, and so they're using that as their basis. But it doesn't really count like the other media is moving. What is Dungeon Fighter Online, and why is it the #1 grossing PC title by January 2021? What the fuck is that?
I have literally never even heard of that.
Aaron, have you heard of that?
Dungeon Fighter Online? Of course. I log in every Wednesday.
Okay, so Aaron also has not heard of this either.
Oh yeah, Dungeon Fighter Online, also known as DFO.
Never.
Shout out to the DFO-mies.
Anyway, basically the whole article is saying
this game stinks apparently. This shit's got like a 62%. Also, Dungeon Fighter Online is South Korean. That's why it's really big. It might stink, but they've got a lot of people over there playing.
Okay, that would make sense because so World of Warcraft is listed at #5 at World of Warcraft West because in the Asian markets it's king. It basically just kind of coincides with what we've been seeing personally as a guild. People have just now started to drop off of Shadowlands. We have felt like this phase has lasted way longer than it lasted in BFA, for sure. And it feels longer than it lasted in Legion as well.
I'm tempted to agree with that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh, the fall off is insane. Oh, everyone's been leaving. Oh, it's been like faster than ever." But I really don't think it has been.
If COVID did not happen, we would be at a much better... I think we would have maintained the steam. We would have had BlizzCon, 6 months ago? 5 months ago?
Mhm.
It would have kept us going. They'd be working from the office, not from home, which is very hard to do when you're making a fucking video game.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was playing Dungeon Fighter Online.
Aaron, you only have one head. One head.
And it's got 2 eyeballs, and both of them are focused on Dungeon Fighter Online. Buy it on Steam today. Pick up a copy and play it.
I was gonna ask, is it a free-to-play game? Because we should play Dungeon Fighter Online and see what the hype's all about.
I don't know. It's listed on Steam, so I assume you have to pay monies for it.
They have free games on Steam. Bitch, it's free to play. That's why, and that's
Oh,
exactly
fuck.
why. That's exactly why it's number one. Because you can probably buy a bunch of fighters. I'm installing it right now.
Well, I reckon it's time, boys. And by time, I mean it's time to head on into this week's sexiest NPC of the week.
I just spent the last couple minutes in silent contemplation, trying to form my words to describe this person's sexiness.
And this week is someone who, honestly, we've already spoken about how sexy he is in the past, but I feel like it's time to officially give him this award, baby. And I'm talking General Dr. Avon, honey.
Rock hard dick.
Ooh, a fine body, perfectly sculpted. Get it? Get it? Because he's a statue man.
Ayy.
I mean, I just want to say, like, General Dr. Avon is my Soulbind already, so maybe I have a leg up here. Sorry, boys, you're gonna have to back off a little bit.
Ooh, he was telling me the other day, he said, Growliina, when are we gonna bind up? And I said, aren't you already with Immune? But now he's a man, and I don't swing that way. I'm straight as they come, brother. Men going their own way. Just kidding.
Straight as the mountains.
I really don't want to, like, have any kind of canonical DNR lore saying that General Dr. Avon is part of that culture, so I'm going to redact that.
I always have to imagine when they sleep at night, when they get into their bed, they pull off all their clothes. But General Dr. Avon has several armored tips on his wings. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Or is it just 4 or 6 armor pieces on him, on his wings? You can't reach that by yourself.
I know, it's a very sensual time. Like, it's part of the foreplay, honestly. You know, you just one by one very seductively have to help him remove them. It's kind of like a striptease, almost.
No, you guys are vents. Where do the gargoyles sleep at night?
They just kind of like find a cozy place, you know, and then they just like turn to stone casually. You know, sometimes there's some creative poses that they choose. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is interesting considering they're sentient that they decide to go be art sometimes. Like, they don't just be like, oh, I'm going to go find a bed or I'm going to go lean over here. They're like, well, I got to go find a perch.
Such a true artist. I'm going to find a perch in the highest lands and just set my body here for all to gaze upon.
Ooh, and
Yeah, you know, when we were turning in that one quest, that's what he was doing. He was just trying to find like the proper place to perch and turn to stone for the night. Or the day. Or whenever.
The sun cresting over the one of 7,000 buildings there are there, just glistening on him, and he goes, do you see that, champion? That's the Ember Ward. It's awful. It's just the worst, champion.
Also, this is a confident man. When he wears his armor, you know he's looking in the mirror to see how the world sees him. And he just is like, you know what? My nips are hanging out, and I'm proud of it. I want everyone to look at these 2 little cute nipples.
Yeah, his armor reveals just enough to let you know that he has at least a 6-pack. And, you know, let me just say, like, if you, like, there's enough covering up still. He actually has maybe, like, 2 or 4 more just, like, under the belt there.
So this armor is very suited just to stab him in the stomach. Like, you could just stab him in the gut, and that's it, right? He's wearing the crop top of the armor world.
No, listen, that's his unbreakable bod, okay?
Okay, I'll believe it for this episode.
Ooh, and when I Google Dr. Draven, General Draven, I apparently get Davitz Draven from the Wikipedia. Slide, you're a Star Wars person. Do you know this milquetoast white man?
Yeah, he was in Rogue One. He didn't do that much, but it's like, it's so funny that like literally just General Draven gives you that, and there's one image.
It's kind of sad, though. You think that the internet would put a little more respect on the sexy NPC's name. I mean, he's not only a very profound general, you know, he is very skilled tactfully at war, but he also took the time to get his doctorate. He's also a genius, guys.
Concrete genie. That's what I always say. Turns to stone, is a genius. Concrete genie. That's him.
The last thing...
Jesus, what is this reference, Slide?
The last thing I'll say is that you know that I never want to run away from him, because anytime he picks me up for that one world quest where we gotta drop off dredgers, he said, Growliina, you're not getting out of here after this. You literally physically cannot move after this world quest. You got a hard boot out and close your game. And sometimes I just sit there in his embrace and go, this is okay. Maybe I don't have to play for the rest of the day. I can just fly around with him.
He's showing you exactly what it's like to be a gargoyle. You're stuck in there until you give a hard reboot and you free yourself in the dead of night. Hey, I have a hot new question that I think we should think about every single time we have a sexiest NPC. What do you think General Dr. Raven smells like when you're in coitus with him?
An old chimney.
Ew.
Okay, get this visual. You are like in elementary school and you're out on the blacktop on the playground and it's like a hot day and it's really sunny. I kind of picture it like that.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to reconcile the fact that we're talking about the sexiest NPC of the week, and we have to go back to elementary school to begin with. I can't do that in the same stroke.
What are you going to be an adult going back to your elementary school playground? That makes you a creeper.
A creeper. I guess that is how he would smell, though. That is not a wrong. That is actually probably the most correct smell anybody's ever predicted General Dr. Raven smelled like. I think our new goal should be predicting the smells of certain WoW NPCs and getting them verified through WoW devs, through interviews and constant badgering of, hey, is this right?
So we complimented Belluar's interviewing skills, but like, on the other side of that coin, if we ever get an interview, our first question will be like, so, what does General Draven smell like?
And would you agree he smells like the black top on a hot summer day in elementary school? Speak to us, Ian. Speak to us.
Mr. Hazakosis, it's wonderful to have you here. Of course. It's great to be here on the show. What does Captain Swink's penis smell like? And is it sea salt?
Cut. Get me out of here.
Get Denuser in here. He can answer all these nasty questions. Steve's like, I actually have a long list of what each NPC's nether region smells like.
I mean, the thing is, somebody would answer these questions, too, because what was it? In Shadows Rising, they went out of their way to tell us exactly how Flynn smelled like at any given time.
You're right. This is their fault, not ours. I put in the line, you, Blizzard. You will let that get published, and now we want to know how every other NPC smells.
Zakan's Gooter smells like spices.
No.
Oh, don't get me started on the fucking Tauren. You know that's like a wet dog smell, 100%. Ugh, so musty.
Ooh, Long Strider, what's his face, definitely hasn't washed his nethers.
This is gonna be a fun conversation.
Not since the fall of Camp Navajo.
Camp Burnaho. Well, General Dr. Raven, you are our sexiest NPC of the week and our sexiest smelling NPC of the week with that elementary school blacktop. And now it's time for our top two, bottom boot, medium moot. I'm going to give it to Immune. Give it to me, bitch.
So I got myself a little combination here. I think overall it's a medium moot, but I'll break it down a little bit. Bottom boot part is that we have, every week, gotten at least one or two new followers for our adventure table, and they come at level 1. It's really annoying to level them all the way up, and someone's always really far behind. At this point, 3 of mine are really far behind. And
shout out to
now it's getting to
Bogdan.
the point, right? Exactly. He's level 10, and all our other ones are almost level 40. But anyways, and now we've gotten so many that it takes forever to scroll down to your other companions to fill up your mission slots with. And I'm like, there needs to be a better interface here. I don't know. It's really annoying.
There's add-ons you can get that make them better. I haven't found a good one yet that consolidates them. The only add-on I have shows me the percentage at the top, but I hear that there's something that will just do it for you. That Ask Ash. He has one that he says is really good right now.
Oh yeah, I'll ask him about it. I also think he's event there so that he would know. But my top 2 portion of this is a little backhanded, but it's the fact that if you're current on your campaign, if you're renowned, if you're current on your renown, then you just got your last follower, baby, and you get an achievement for it. I was about to say there's only 12. Only 12. Jesus fucking Christ, that's so many. But that means we won't be getting any more that we have to level up from level 1. So
well, isn't that also contingent on if you've been doing Torghast too, though? Because there's followers in there, right?
Because I got Bogdan, but got no achievables, so I gotta go into Torghast.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You'll have to deal with this later. So I guess it's if you are at your max renown and have been running Torghast somewhat frequently. So yeah, that is my combination top 2 bottom boot. Slidewhistle, what do you got?
I'm going to hit you with that classic double top 2.
Ooh. Two.
Oh, God.
No.
No, it's not about weak. No.
2 top 2s making a ooga.
That is not the lore, no.
So anyway, my ooga is starting off is...
You guys test me every fucking week on this show.
Okay, so I finally realized why I loved Guardian Druid so much. Now, I thought I had an idea, but now I truly understand.
Well, why is it?
So, okay, this is a little bit of backstory. So, in professional wrestling, there's a company called WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, correct?
Yes.
Wow.
Run by Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Vince McMahon. I'm getting eye rolls. So the Big Show has a size 72E double E shoe, right? And every year he enters the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is when you need to toss out 29 other men over the top rope. The Big Show, every fucking year, rolls into the ring, sees 10 men staring at him, and the 10 men go, "There's this big guy, and we gotta throw him out." And they all hit him at once, like a fucking movie. And then, as he's getting beaten up, he goes, "Whoa!" And he pushes them all over, and he starts hitting them and beating them up. And that's exactly what it feels like to be a Guardian Druid with this legendary.
So I wonder if there's another legendary out there where, depending on what hour of the day it is, you're either a good guy or a bad guy.
The answer is always bad guy. But so literally, I'm out there. I so many fucking times this past week that I fight 10. I'm maybe getting 10 people, and they're like, "Let's get him!" They're hitting me, and I'm just I'm powering up. And then I Big Show them, and in my head it's just going, "Well, it's the Big Show," and I'm like, I need to make a macro that when I hit that button to incarnate, that I just played the Big Show theme song for 30 seconds, and just how long it lasts. my power form lasts.
The necklace that contains the power of Ursoc you're using there, does it affect your ability to cry on command?
It does, once it wears out, and I'm like, "You can stun me now. Ooh, please don't stun me."
Make the big show cry. Everyone wants to see the big man tear up.
Paul White will shed tears tonight. That's his real name. And so my other top two is that my World of Warcraft chair that GameStop stock bought for me finally came in.
Yay!
And this is the fancy Alliance themed one.
I love this chair. It's so comfortable. Wait, listen to this. Ready? Here's some live ASMR for you. You hear that?
No.
That's me adjusting my lumbar support.
Oh boy. Wow.
But okay, but so also it was easy to put together. This is not an ad. They're not going to sponsor us. They also gave me this little tiny holographic, like, this is the same shape that the trading card game cards are, and it just says legendary comfort and support achievement unlocked. And I'm like, this is so stupid, but I'm also never going to throw it away. I'm going to frame this little card. Every so often I hold it in my hands and just stare at it.
It is really neat looking.
Cool chair.
Thanks. What about you? What's your top two bottom boot medium moot?
Well, this week I have myself a top toot. And
Toot toot.
it's that during this run through of Castle Nathria, I completed part of my heroic Nathria drip.
Ooh.
We got the chest and the head, which means the only thing I have left is the shoulders, and I'll be completely done with the Nathria set. And the shoulders come from Daddy D, so I'm never going to be getting those. But I'm looking pretty cool. I like the mask. It's one of the few things a Worgen can wear, and it's not completely awful. It's looking pretty fly, and I'm over here just stunting on people whose outfits all look a lot better.
I feel that I'm getting my tier collected, or my set collected, and I'm missing two pieces, so you're beating me by one. I'm also missing a piece from the Nathrius, and I think one might drop from Stone Legion Generals, which makes sense that I haven't gotten it yet.
Mm-hmm. But
I just want to have that. I want that completed set so bad. I never get to have it for raid.
I never get them until like a year later.
Yeah. I think I got a BFA one. Or no, I got a Legion one like at the end of BFA. I was like, finally, I crossed the path. But it's cool. I'm excited. Looks good. And I'm going to forget about that outfit in 2 weeks.
Womp womp. Because you ain't never going to see that boss.
Nope.
Well, with that, we're done. We're out of here. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, send us an email at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or tweet at us at Twitter at donotrelenttpod. You can also leave us a review on Warcraft Radio in the podcast directory, or just leave us a good old-fashioned Apple podcast review. We'll read it. We'll take a shot each. Maybe we'll even suck some asshole. What about you guys? We're going to find you on
I don't
the
think
internet.
I'll be doing that on an auditory medium. I don't feel like that's good listening.
Well, I will not promise that last bit there, but I am Alex or Immunization, and you can find me on Twitter at New Era Alex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent. I also wanted to give a quick shout out / promo for another podcast called LFR, a casual Warcraft podcast hosted by Dracoris and Sarith. I've recently been really into it. They have a few episodes out now. They're like every 2 weeks, and it's just kind of like a one episode, like kind of like bite-sized, like look at like a certain character's lore throughout all of the Warcraft universe. So it's like easier to digest than some of the other lore pods out there probably. And I've also just been hanging out in their Discord. It's just been really fun. So give it a listen if it's something that it seems like you guys would be interested in.
Boy, if I knew you were going to do a shout out, I wouldn't have made an eating butthole joke right before.
I mean, I feel like no shout out on this podcast would be complete without something like that. So,
And I'm Aaron. I don't have vulgarities nor a shout out, but what I do have is a highly rehearsed set of information. You can find me at Aaron. You can find me at the Bigot Cheesy on Twitter.com. And you can read our literary musings at donotRelent.livejournal.com.
I was imagining you every morning in the mirror, like, all right, here's the script. Let's go. Let's see what we got here.
I am very sorry that I threw everyone off track.
It's sort of like my old Disney World script where I can like snap my neck every so often and it just falls out of me. I'll be like, yeah, so I had to do the business reports, and also you can find me at twitter.com. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like,
they're still inside me. They've got me. Okay, bye. And
yeah, bye.
Remember,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.